Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Crusader. I'm your host CPC Gamer, and in our last episode, we were ambushed by ghosts. Now we are better prepared, let's keep exploring and see if we can't fight them off. He says as if he doesn't already have Turn Undead equipped. So in an earlier episode, I mentioned how each level has its own theme or feel to it. Like each one is an episode in a TV show or something. This one has 3 going for it. And most pressing, it's Ice World. The worst world. And don't think it was any degree of skill that got me through that room unharmed. That was luck and nothing but. Also in this room, I think you're supposed to use this platform to do like drive-by attacking on these meteors, but you can always just jump past them. Although I'm killing this one out of spite. Oh hey, got a tomato out of it, so that'll do me. Whoa, jeez. So it's Ice World then. How about that? It is hard to explain just how aggressive the ice physics are in this game. But before I try, we have to use the laser to open the door, as you might expect. So once we've done that, let's nudge it onto the spikes. Yeah, it's going nuts! Let's have a medieval light switch rave! Let's take pointless damage for no reason. It's kind of interesting what... By the way, this game has zombies in it. And zombies are one of the... one enemy type in this game that can poison you, which has one of a variety of effects. Usually it'll just reverse the controls, but occasionally it will stop you using magic, or give you the health slip that you usually associate with being poisoned in an RPG. And I think the design is intended for poison to be a bigger thing than it ended up being, because there are a lot of opportunities to cure yourself. Oh, right here, in fact. Eating cheese will cure poison, as will drinking blue potion, wine, or water. There's a magic spell to do it. There's also an item we get towards the end of the game that can do it. And, there's also a dummied out item that will give you infinite chances to cure the poison. But, like, there's only one enemy that can do it, and even then they need a critical hit, so it's, like, kind of a waste. Incidentally, we passed the progression door a while back. I'm heading this way to fill in the rest of the map. And to show off something kind of goofy. So at the start of the level, you're in the middle of a room, and you can go left or right. If you go left and continue that loop, then all the puzzles on the right-hand side are pre-solved for you as you go back through. I mean, it's kind of silly, but... Hey, can you imagine guiding a barrel around a room with this ridiculous sliding going on? Of course I'm going to skip that mess. Can we do this again? No, we can't! Aw. Told you it wasn't skill that got me through that room unharmed. I mean, I think it's meant to put you in a position where you have to choose to attack or defend. Because most of the enemies on this floor are undead, so the Turn Undead spell will help you a lot, but... On the other hand, there are a lot of traps here, so maybe the shield would be better. But you can't have both! Am I stuck here? Can I somehow not hit this last block? Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, it's kind of interesting as to why the laser reacts the way it does when it's in the spike pit. Because the laser is set to change direction when it is attacked, but it doesn't matter where that attack comes from. Because that way we can use our sword, magic, or giant cartoon bombs, depending on what the puzzle requires. Or we can throw it into a spike pit for a laugh. I mean, I think every other laser in this game exists in a room without external hazards, so it's possible the developers just didn't spot that. Or they did, and they left it in anyway, because it's hilarious. Now, once again, we are at a crossroads. Through this door is the teleporter, which is actually in a really handy location given what's coming up. And through the next door, we... Meant to do that. Totally meant to do that. This door leads to the healing fountain. And the other one leads to progression. So what we're going to do is make the trip this way and collect ourselves a secret. Check it out, it's the gift shop! Don't all dungeons have a gift shop? Although to be fair, we can't buy anything yet. so we will return later to buy grossly overpriced souvenirs. I will also collect this pendant. And isn't it a good job there's a healing fountain right here? But it's almost like the game designers knew they were throwing down a lot of death traps and not a lot of opportunities to get healing items. Didn't need to do that, just kind of felt like it. The zombies have random drops like most of the other enemies in the game, but I think they will only drop the black potion, which is just awful. Ah, yes, this is the way that I need to go. So this puzzle makes a lot more sense in Japanese, where the circle is the mark that something is correct. Like, I thought you had to play noughts and crosses with that thing, or something like that. Also, this puzzle is a dick. We have to guide this boulder down the corridor, through 2 air vents, and onto a pressure pad at the end. But not like that. Basically, the boulder drops the platform, and then we can get the goodies within. Now, I did find a cool way to do this as a kid. Let's see if I can remember it. Alright, just reset the puzzle. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, go! This is going to be the most synchronized video I ever did on my own, I tell you what. Oh, and it worked! Nice! Like, I forgot the number, but I knew it was close to but less than 20, so... Here we are, we have the Relayer. I don't know where that name comes from, because to my knowledge a Relayer is not a kind of sword. But maybe it's like relaying a message or something? And that message is indiscriminate horizontal slashes! No enemy shall be safe! I don't know. Maybe the message is that I am here to save the day. Alright, what you did was using somebody else's character portrait, Blondie. That's what you did to deserve that. Don't think I didn't spot that. Right, what's next? I think I need to... to walk into the wall for a bit while I'm reading my stage notes, and then, even then, get the next step wrong. Let's go this way. Because through this door... Oh, that guy's just worried about his cows. What a hero. So that line shows up 3 times in this game as a recurring joke, but in the UK localization, they changed one of the 3 sentences. So that, because that guy and the goblin farmer say, "Are my cows safe?" While on the surface, he says, "I hope my cows don't get kidnapped." Also, I'm poisoned. That could explain why my controls don't work. That thing that I just saw. Also, do you see how many healing items I have? I'll be fine. Now, I do believe there is a secret around here. I know there's some mirror in this thing with it. Ahaha! Nice. Oh, double nice. Because, you know, we are just burning through pendants lately. Yeah, why not? Let's have that. And let me clean up my inventory some. Fun fact, I've been playing this game ever since I was 12, 13-ish, and this is the first time I have ever used the blue potion given to you at the start of the game. Like, I usually just carry it from start to finish and just have it in my inventory as a thing that is there. Now, this is a pretty tricky one. And that is not what the solution is. This one always gave me grief when I was younger, so let's see if I can work something out here. I think I can use this one as a stopgap for the left one and then nudge it into the switch. Maybe this'll... Actually, yeah, that'll work. That is not what I intended to do, but... Yeah, no, that'll do. Alright. There we go. Let's collect our prize. How's it going, man? Yeah, man, there's zombies and ghosts out there. You're safer waiting in here. In fact, it's so dangerous, I'm going to lock you back in there so he'll be safe for later. Clearly, I am the hero that Greeno needs and deserves. So let's go. Oh, crackles, it's still Ice World. Why would the floating platforms have ice physics too? This is ridiculous. Alright, forget you. I'm out of here. I'm gonna steal whatever this is. Excellent! The crest is the thing that the gift shop guy was talking about. So let's instantly teleport over there and see what's going on. Oh, incidentally, what you were supposed to do in this room is use these lamps to steer the floating platforms around the room, but it's too slow and tricky to serve much use, especially when you can just tank the hits and heal at the fountain directly adjacent. Now, hello, fellow magician! I should like this gold potion! And thank you as ever, said the magician, implying that I'm a regular customer. Isn't grammar fun? Also, no, there's nothing back there you can tinker with. But I was kind of hoping, you know? Anyways, with the outer loop of the map filled in, we can move on to the middle one. Helps to be methodical with this sort of thing, you know? Oh, incidentally, now we have the crest, we can reveal the third theme that this level employs. We are exploring the Wizard's Guild. Now, quite how this ties into the overall theme of ice and the undead, I don't know, but it sure explains why we've been finding a lot more people here and about. You remember when this game used to be about that? Like finding the... I did not want to do that! Okay, let's try that again. Only this time, not attack the enemies. We need to talk to this guy. Because now we've got the crest, he'll say that and let us through. Oh, and it's this track! I love this track! This is a remix of the first dungeon theme, but in a sinister way. And then for this bit, they took out the heroic refrain and replaced it with sinister ambience, and it is just fantastic to me. Oh, and this is a neat little puzzle. There's a platform here that moves in the opposite direction to the one we're moving in, so you have to jump and try to shuffle it underneath you. And... okay, well maybe not like that. But you have to use it to reach this platform for a nice little purse. I mean, the fact there's a lot of gold in there is a nice bonus, it just... I want it because it is a nice little purse.
Beat them.
Beat them? But, oh god, it's me! It's a flock of me's! Now we're gonna get sued by Nintendo and have to shut down the channel? The good times are over! Or, realistically, like with the skeletons, you just focus your attacks on the wizard rather than his ads and win the fight pretty quickly. Interestingly, you can't use Turn Undead on the doppelgangers, like you can with the skeletons. And you might think that's weird if you're not a massive nerd who enjoys Dungeons & Dragons. Because if you are, then you know that the doppelgangers class as golems, not undead. So of course the spell isn't going to work. It would be folly to even try. Now, bear with me just 1 second, because I'm going to go this way and top up my health, because there's something particularly big and nasty coming up. People who've played the game know what's going to go on. Oh, I'm not doing that right now. I'm going this way. See, there's a handy arrow that instructs that very thing. Because if I remember rightly, there's a weird secret in this room that doesn't make sense. Let's get rid of you. And... yeah, for some reason there's a random teleport pad in the middle of that room that sends us here to collect some new armor. Like the dragon armor, which is called that across every translation of the game. Also, where are we? Because we usually show up on the map as a green glowing dot, but we weren't, so... hey, you got me! Also, I'm fairly sure that sign said something different in the version I played when I was younger. Like it said, turn back, or something like that. Well, wait a second, hang on. I think something's coming? Whoa, that was... weird. We appear to have slipped into an alternate reality where time passes much more quickly than it usually does. Thankfully, you have all now acclimatized to this accelerated pace, just in time to not sit and watch me play Simon for 3 minutes, because that would be a really boring bit of gameplay. Like, because now we get to do this, and this is a lot more fun. Like, it's a boss fight. Remember in level 2, when I said the game was going to throw a group of wizards at us for a sub-boss fight? Assuming I did say that, I forget. Point is, this is that. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before, and yet I feel so much more empowered and like I've accomplished something in doing this than I did in beating that game of Simon. Alright, get out of here, guy. Oh, and don't you patronize me with that victory theme game. I've beaten plenty of wizards thus far. And I was just about to congratulate myself on getting through that fight without harming the NPC. Man, if there was an achievement for that and I just wasted it by attacking that guy, I would be so mad. Thankfully there isn't, I didn't, and I'm not, thus rendering this entire paragraph moot. You see, you should also have saved the victory fanfare, because here is your actual boss, a giant scorpion. I should now like to complain to the animation companies of my youth, because I was led to believe that scorpions would be a much bigger and ever-present threat than they have ended up being. Because there was scorpions, and quicksand, and that room trap where the walls come in from the sides and you die. Really, game? I mean, not that I'm complaining, because the hell with scorpions, but I expected it to put up much more of a fight than that. Anyways, forget you. Oh. I thought that was going to be maximum life, but it wasn't. Bamboozled again! Although, come to think of it, if I remember rightly, the other life gems are just lying around the labyrinth, rather than being boss rewards. I mean, there's only 3 anyway, so we'll be okay until we find them. It's all fine. In the meantime, let's press on. Friggin' hate you and your stupid face. Let's press on through the labyrinth! Yeah! Huh. Did I avoid that last time? Well, if we walk in front of one of these statues, we are cursed, such that our controls are reversed. And we can fix this by walking in front of the other statues, which doesn't remove the curse, necessarily, it just casts the reversal curse again, thereby effectively nullifying it, even though it's still there, which... weird, right? And let's not attack those guys on the way out. I mean, I was thinking it, but it'd just be inviting trouble if I did. And when have I ever done that in these videos? And you know what else cartoons told me was going to be a bigger problem than it actually ended up being? Toxic waste. Like, I thought that mess would be falling from the skies or something, and yet here we are. Anyways, key 3 opens up that door, and that brings us to one of these. A remix of this classic puzzle. Here we go. That is so much easier than I remember it being when I was younger. One of the bonuses of having the answer written down in front of you. Ah, what do you say? Stop? Why would you say stop? Oh my god, everything is on fire and I'm dying and it's all dreadful. So, that room is one of the worst things in the game. Because you just take damage until the door opens. Although, speaking of which, maybe let's fix that. Now, smart people will equip the shield magic and jump around, thus lowering the amount of damage they end up taking. However, there is another option. Smart and attractive people know that they need to open up their menu and drink the odd potion and become invisible. Then they enter the room. You're gonna love this. Just love it. Yep, if you're invisible, then the trap just never activates, thus nullifying the amount of damage you'll take. I mean, the room still functions as normal. You have to spend 30 seconds in here without leaving before the door opens up. You just are unharmed. And while we wait, this room has another baffling localization choice between England and America. Because in America, this room functions exactly the same, except the message reads, trial by fire. Which makes sense, given you have to deal with a barrage of fireballs left and right. Also, I'm just going to put up the shield so you can see where I am. Now, in Europe, as you have seen, the sign just reads, stop. But that's even more of a trap, because if you stand still, then you take even more damage. Oh man, this is going to be fun to beat. You can't even see myself. How very deep. Oh, look at the sprites clashing with one another. That's only partially an emulation issue, because it does that on the original hardware as well. And I know that because I played the hell out of this game on the Mega Drive. Like, my friend Chris owned it and lent it to me during high school, and now that I come to think about it, I don't think I ever gave it back to him. Whoops! He also loaned me a game called Generations Lost, which is another obscure Mega Drive game. Game Jam. Maximum life! Good distraction. I should probably explain what that was. You can attack each of those fireballs to make them vanish. And once they all vanish, then the magic barrier disappears, and you can get whatever is in that chest. Or, you can hurt dash your way through with a shield. Now in this room, you're supposed to make a dash for the bomb and hurry it along to the door. And if you do it just right, you will have just enough time to get there. And that is a boss room, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to wait here for the potion to wear off, and we will be right back. Well, guess I'm leaving that bit in. Hey everyone! Turns out when you're invisible, no trap affects you, not just the trial by fire. Enjoy me trying to get out of that reversal control maze thing. Am I gonna have enough time to get you to the door? Sure hope so. Yes, I am! Let's change our magic, because we are going to need Needle Crack for this one. Because it has a really good spread to it. Like, it's the closest thing this game has to a shotgun. Right, in we go. Hi, text box! Implying we have fought this boss before? Thanks, translations team! Now, I joke about it, but that pre-fight dialogue did get reworked in the American version based on the European script. In America, the text box says, "You are here," instead of "You are back," which makes sense. Also, the American version asks if we are worthy of using Light Crusader, making it seem like an abstract entity is speaking to us, while in Europe, it's worthy of using me. Because apparently Light Crusader is a magical talking sword now? Who knows? So when I was a teenager, I would spend all my time attacking the armor itself, and I could never, ever work out how to damage it. Like, do you have to hit the side, or the back? Do you have to use magic? I don't know, and neither do you. Neither did Chris, neither did anybody who played this game. Now, you may not be able to see it, after YouTube has crunched the compression a bit, but there is an invisible entity in the room, which is casting a shadow wherever it goes. And we have to attack whatever is casting that shadow. But it's no easy trick when, like just there, it runs off to the edges of the room after it's attacked. And I only found this out when I was playing this game on my PC. You know, the Steam version, and not running it in WGens. And look at that! You see how easy it is to beat this boss when you know how to properly damage it? It took me hours to do that one fight when I was younger. We may only borrow the power, though. We have to give it back when we're done. Oh, and we also get El Crusader, which, by a staggering coincidence, is also my luchador name! I will not rest until I have claimed the Cruiserweight belt and Iberia! Historical wrestling jokes. I've got them. And with that, it's a simple walk to level 5, which is probably my favorite level out of the entire game, and something that I've never truly appreciated until now when I come to play this game as an adult and a game designer. Oh, awesome! 8 worlds! Love it. Wait, wandering through eternity in the land of nightmares? That actually sounds like something I don't want to do. So, I'm going to cut the video here. Join us next time for more like Crusader. And until next time, goodbye!